Hello everyone, glad to be back. Today is 13th of April, now it's almost 11 o'clock in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my channel in which I share latest updates on the news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. This video gonna be first update for today, and I will start with Ukraine and the special military operation. But before that, let me make some little announcement, because many of you did ask me to translate these pages of news agencies, Russian news agencies that I usually use to share with you latest updates. I did try quite a few programs to translate these pages on English. It did not work. Browser will not translate from Russian to English. So I decided to translate informations themselves. So from now on, I will try to translate all the information, or majority at least of information that I will share in update, and I will post those news on my Telegram channel, and you can read those news on Telegram channel if you want to. I did exactly this today, and I will try to, if I have time, I will try to do so on a regular base. I hope it will be useful. That's the best I can for now, at least for this moment. So now let's talk about news, and we have RIA Novosti's report, according to which FSB did, after investigation, made statement that terroristic attack against Russian journalist Vladlen Tatarsky was conducted by Ukraine's special services, Ukraine's secret services. This is official decision now. This is official result of investigation, and of course, none of us gonna be surprised to hear this. We did know from very beginning that it was Zelensky's regime and Ukraine's secret services that are behind this terroristic attack. This is not the first time that Zelensky's regime is killing Russian citizens on Russian soil and Russian journalists also. And when I was reading this information, I was thinking that it's quite possible that Moscow may change its approach towards Ukraine's officials and Ukraine's governmental institutions, and at least declare as a terrorist organization Ukraine's secret services. And if this will happen, then Moscow will have a legal base to conduct strikes against everyone that has anything to do with Ukraine's secret services. So this is a possibility in my opinion, but for now, at least, none of Russian officials had made any such a statement yet. But that's a possibility, as I understand. So let's see how will situation developed. Let's continue with the news, and this is also about Ukraine. RIA Novosti is writing about article that was published in Washington Post. According to that article, these so-called secret documents that everyone is talking about now, that was leaked to internet. Those documents were taken from one of the US military bases by someone whose nickname is OG, and this, OG man, original gangster. This story cannot become more stupid, man. It's just too obvious that we are dealing with some deception operation, cheaply made scenario. Even Hollywood is, not making these kind of crap scenarios, and Hollywood is sucks, man. But let's return to this news. So, according to Washington Post, someone on the nickname of OG was a part of a chat group on Discord. There were some gamers there, and they were discussing, according to this legend, they were discussing Ukraine, among other things, and this OG stole documents from military base and did share those on in this group. And this group became a first source of information, and then these documents did spread all around the internet. That's a legend that Washington will probably push now over the media and over the society. But yet again, I'm not going to change my mind, and every passing day give us more and more reasons to believe that entire this story with these secret documents is a deception operation. But yet again, it's done so badly. It's done so badly, man, that it's surprising. What surprises me, how badly this deception operation was done, man. Yes, documents themselves probably are original, paperwork and stamps and all of that. Some parts of information on those documents should be real, should be authentic, because that's how deception works. You should put some real information, and then you will put some false information to make sure that your opposite side, which you want to mislead, will buy it, because at least some part of information will be true. But yet again, man, this story done is so badly that I don't think any analytical group or any think tank in Russia or anywhere else didn't realize that they are dealing with the deception operation. That's my take on it anyway. Anyways, so let's continue now, and we have TASS News Agency's report. Yet again, this report based on article in Washington Post, according to which U.S. intelligence services don't think that peaceful negotiations will be possible between Ukraine and Russia in 2023. Yet again, no surprises, because we all know Washington, Biden administration desperately needs some good news from Ukraine. Rating of Democrats, especially Biden and his entourage, is failing badly. So in this situation, it's obvious that White House will do everything to distract any peace talks between the sides. At least, and this will continue at least before next presidential election. After presidential election in US, Washington may change its mind, especially if a Republican candidate will become president. But before Biden is in White House, peace has no chance, sadly, unfortunately. Let's continue, and RIA Novosti's report here about statement that Russian deputy of foreign minister made. So Alexander Grushko, deputy of foreign minister of Russia, did stated that Russia and NATO are closer and closer to direct confrontation. Yet again, these kind of statements, I think, are warning shots. Let me say this way, but yet again, if we're talking about Western world, Western elites would not listen. If we are talking about world outside of West, which is most of the world really, everyone already knows what is happening and what is going on. So No surprises here also. But yes, unfortunately, no matter how many warnings Moscow gonna issue towards Western elites, they would not listen. And to be honest, I also believe that direct confrontation between Russia and NATO, at least NATO member states, is almost inevitable. Almost inevitable. NATO may not become openly part of this conflict, but I believe at least Poland and a few NATO member states will definitely openly become a part of this conflict in 2 or 3 months' time, maybe. So this statement from Russian Foreign Ministry is absolutely adequate in this sense. By the way, when it comes to Ukraine, I did not start with the Frontline because not breakthrough had happened in any direction really. Main hot points, as usually, are Bakhmut and Donetsk direction, Avdiivka, Marinka. As you know, we did had the reports that Russian side in Marinka did establish full control over this industrial area. This pro-Ukrainian map is not recognizing it, not acknowledging this, but that's the report at least that we had here in Russia. When it comes to Bakhmut, according to some reports, this is Avdiivka, man, this is not the Bakhmut, but they are such similar situations that you may, when you are zooming in for a second, you may get confused because Avdiivka is also almost fully encircled like Bakhmut is. So this is Bakhmut, and according to some reports on Russian side, PMC Wagner units did establish control over the railway station here, and most of this part here next to railway is under Russian control. Let me see on this map. This is probably will be more useful. So I mean, this map is hard to use, man. This map is hard to use because that's a Bakhmut, by the way. I did find it. So if you take a look, these white dots are showing current situation on the front line, and as you can see, this railway station here under Russian control, most of this area next to railway, but Zelensky's regime, at least for this moment, are continuing to hold to this little part on the left side of this railway. Yet again, it's hard to make any predictions when it comes to Bakhmut anymore because of high concentration of Ukrainian forces in this small area on the west side of the city. I mean, even if all those 10,000 soldiers of Ukrainian side they make decisions to surrender now, even in that case, it will take at least, I don't know, 3 to 5 days probably for Russian side to disarm all of them and to deal with the prisoners of war. So because not all of them are surrendering, it's obvious that it will take much more time for the Russian side to establish full control over that area. Let's continue now. Let's continue. I already did talk about this news, and probably you did hear about this information, but I will still share with you. Yesterday, Telegram channels did report that two U.S. citizens that were fighting on side of Zelensky's regime died. in Ukraine, and it seems like State Department did confirm this information, and basically almost on daily basis now we are hearing information that foreign mercenaries are, foreign mercenaries are neutralized in Ukraine, and when this conflict will end, probably we will learn that probably thousands of foreign mercenaries did find their last day in Ukraine, because this kind of news are coming from Telegram channels on daily basis, basically. Let's continue. This is TASS News Agency's report about statements that Trump made, and according to him, according to former U.S. president and possibly future U.S. president, incompetency of current leadership of U.S. Biden's administration is can provoke third world war. That's what Biden thinks, that current U.S. administration is so much incompetent that they may start third world war. They may provoke third world war, and this is quite serious, really, because whenever former or current U.S. president, maybe not current one, because Biden probably don't really understands what is going on. His role for now is to sign all the papers that he is given. But when adequate former U.S. presidents are talk, world is listening, because they had much more information that many of us will ever have. So Trump probably knows something. That's why he just a few days ago did a post on his social network, Third World War. That's just this one sentence. And in interview, as I understand, for Fox News, he also mentioned that incompetency of Biden's White House may cause or provoke third world war, and this is serious now. I hope nothing like that will happen, but it's a possibility. That's how crazy times are right now. And let's continue. This is RIA Novosti's report about UN's attempt to use its influence over the SWIFT so that Russian banks will be reconnected to this payment system. This is not even payment system. This system is just allowed banks to exchange information. But I don't really think UN has enough influence to do anything about it. And reconnection of Russian banks to SWIFT is necessary, according to UN, to make sure that programs which will allow to Russian companies to export agrarian production, those programs need demand Russian banks to be part of SWIFT so that payments can be made. Yet again, this is partially about grain deal, but as I said, UN don't really have any influence. And by the way, you can read entire this information on my Telegram channel. I just mentioned that how irrelevant UN has become. That's why I'm sharing this information, so that because who the hell is SWIFT, man, or leaders of SWIFT, or heads of that organization? Who are they? UN is the entire world, at least formally, and UN cannot do anything, man. And we are talking about food, man. UN thinks that Russian banks should be reconnected to SWIFT because this way Russia will export food easily, so countries that are in need will receive this food. But do SWIFT cares about it, or do Washington or Brussels or some other European capitals care about people in need in this world? Of course they don't, man. Of course they don't. And UN is just a useless organization, man. It should be dismissed as a because they cannot decide nothing, man. They cannot influence even SWIFT, man. What we are talking about. Let's continue now, and this is RIA Novosti's report. Quite an interesting one, according to which in first 3 months of this year, trade between Russia and China did rise on 38.7%, which is quite a number, isn't it? And if we are talking about in numbers, trade between the sides in the first 3 months did reach $53.845 billion, almost $54 billion. That's the first 3 months, which is quite a number, really. And if things continue this way, Russia and China will probably extend their ambitions to reach 200 billion in trade for 2023, because rise of 38% is a huge number. Yet again, if you want to read in details, there are some numbers here about export of Russian goods in China and import of Russian goods, and you can read it on my Telegram channel in detail. But yet again, China and India truly becoming major trade partners for Russia in these difficult times. And this news is gonna be last one for today. TASS news agency is reporting that G7 countries are planning to impose some additional sanctions on Russia. Okay, man, who cares, really? Who cares? I did share this information because it's G7 countries, man. They are prominent, excuse me, top economies in the world, most developed economies in the world, and that's how that's how degraded elites in these G7 countries really are. If they still talking about some sanctions, when they clearly can see that those sanctions harm Western states no less than Russia, or maybe even more than they harm Russia. But yet again, that's they don't have a brakes, man. They cannot stop. Someone should stop them, by force, because they are out of touch from this reality. They are in some kind of bubble, and that's why they are coming up with these crazy ideas. What they gonna sanction now, man? Air from Russia, so no one in this world should breathe air from Siberia, from Siberian forest, oxygen from Russian trees, or what? What they gonna sanction, man? How stupid they really are, man, for God's sake. But anyway, man, this is it for now. This is, as I said, first update. It's quite a short one, 24 minutes for now. So I hope you will find this video interesting, and if so, please consider to hit that like button, and leave some commentary about any topic you like. If you can, please share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, or any other platform that you are active on. And if you can, and if you think, this channel is interesting, useful, has some potential, and should exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support with small donations through PayPal or by subscribing to my Patreon page. Patreon will be, just great because it does give me additional information about funds, and so yes, this is it for now. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day and take care.